very less likely to be able to overcome them or subdue them. Subtle things may help in terms of identifying a vehicle they've used or something that could be used to trace them. But it is not worth it to try to do anything at that point.
So at any point, and we do not pray that it happens, but if at any point any lay person happens to witness such a scene, gun-wielding men attacking somebody else, you do not call for help, you just run and take cover. Is that what we should do as lay people?
Sometimes it comes within a very flash of a second, a very, very quick and short period that you have to make a decision. What is the character of the violence that is happening? Do you feel safe enough to be able to act in any way? Is it your life most important in terms of danger? If that is the case, you have to flee. There's nothing else more important than that. If you are under some cover, you'll be able to pass on information or call for some help, you should do that. But it's not worth it as an individual with nothing, seeking to do anything, seeking to either draw somebody's attention or stop them, or trying to take a picture or trying to identify something relating to them. It's not worth it. This is where this is important. See, we as citizens have surrendered our liberty or freedom to a state, and the state is mandated to provide security for all of us. How they do it is the business of the state. Look, we are in the modern era, an era where it makes no sense not to focus on technology as a focus in terms of how to build a resilient security architecture. Today's modern trend of crimes has everything to do with technology. Technology allows you to do a lot of things. Look, if we invest significantly enough in technology that is directed at security, we would have been able to identify the individuals involved in this. We would have been able to trace. There's a technology that can allow you to tell the cell phones around that particular vicinity when it happens. It gives you more details than even just than the individuals and images involved. It makes your work a bit more easier. And so we expect that we escalate our commitment to investing in technology to be able to provide security for all of us. And so I was very happy seeing the CCTV cameras, put up all around the city. And so I think that at this moment we need to see how technology can help us in terms of doing what we are not able to do without security. In terms of the data we're talking about, do we have a database that, so for instance, if you arrest somebody suspected of being connected to a particular crime, how are you able to do that? If you don't have CCTV images, you're relying on what? Physical identification of the person. You may be looking at the guns or the weapons they use. They could have with all kinds of gymnastics by lawyers. People can actually get away with so many things. But if you have data that can verify through DNA, samples of individuals involved, forensics can be very useful if you invest in it. These things can help us, solve a lot of the problems we're dealing with in terms of security.
And talking about forensics and the way the media covers crime scenes, I don't know what your observation has been, but in respect of this particular case, media covers it, shows us graphic images of the police officer and the woman. Scenes that, for me and from where I sit, were insensitive to the families of the deceased. But beyond that, scenes that, again, from a layperson's perspective, would have exposed some of the marks that may have been left by these criminals. What do you make of the way the media does its coverage when it comes to crime and so on?
There are two things involved here. First of all, we have a very poor culture as a nation. As a people, we have a very poor culture when it comes to security,
right,
and helping with security matters. So you find some accident situation, or find some crime situation, and violence, and people are so easily, I feel, encouraged to either take pictures or videos of gory incidents that happen with missing parts of individuals, with limbs, and really very graphic images that, you know, that look very sickening to watch, and yet we continue to do it. We've seen, you know, road accidents, road carnage involving destruction of lives in a manner that is unimaginable when you look at these images. We continue to do it. We share it on social media, we share it on our phones and all that, and it's supposed to traumatize us, you know, to what ends. Look, it is because of the lack of respect for human life. The value we place on life doesn't seem to be high enough to respect images and individuals who unfortunately are involved in this situation. If we were a society that respects people's lives and place high premium on human life, this would not happen. For instance, if you look at the US, September 11th attacks, it eventuated in the death of nearly 3,000 lives.
That's right.
2,998 individuals perished in that particular incident.
That's right.
Some individuals could not be buried in full. There were pieces.
Right.
Some could not, after today, cannot trace family members. Limbs and everything in pieces. Yet, when you go online and type September 11th attacks, victims or bodies or whatever, you know, images or words you use, you would not find anything. Zilch.
That's true.
You won't find images. When you come to West Africa and type terrorism bodies or images, Boko Haram, whatever, you would not want to look at the images for the second time. You would not like to look at your screen for the second time. Bodies curled up and bent and it's unimaginable. Why? Because in the States, when you expose a family member's body in such disrespectful and disgraceful manner, you could be sued and you may never recover from it. People respect lives and people protect it. Here, nobody really cares. And it's appalling when you see the body of the police officer.
We've been called boring because we have refused to show some of those pictures and videos in the past and now. We will not show them. People want to see them, we will not show them. And when people say, that's boring of you. Look,
sometimes, see, you capture images on video and it could prove to be very useful in the end at some, especially in the investigations. But that is useful, especially for law enforcement. Something that is as gory as this does not help law enforcement in terms of investigations. But it could be of value.